questions, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You have to write a 5-page paper.
5-page.
Yeah, well, you know,
It's for
you've got more good stories than anybody I know.
it's for 500 points.
And it says over here, explain why.
Oh yes.
Well, to explain why would be because my mother passed away early and my dad was the only one left to guide me, or at least to help me. You know, I've been through some tests.
Oh yeah.
And
No, we'll get that
sites.
when I'll take a look. I'll take a look after the.
Yeah, I know.
finished
I'm
questions.
just trying to figure out what I've done with those. If I got rid of them or what. But anyway, we'll go ahead with this. Okay, now son, it says, what is it like when Lindbergh flew across the Atlantic? Gosh, I even was small at that time.
Yeah, you don't remember that though?
Oh
Was it a
yeah,
big deal?
yeah, I remember the big headlines in the newspaper and everything. Well, let's see. You could write, it was very exciting because it was the first flight across the ocean.
Okay.
He has the same thing?
I think he has some different questions, but.
Oh.
Okay, I'm on my second question.
What is your earliest memory? My earliest memory, my gosh, you wouldn't believe it, I think I must have been about 3 years old. Riding in a coaster wagon to our new home. And that's a fact.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, my dad was building the new home. And I remember going, because we lived on the same street, except we were on Grand Avenue, and this was the other side of Fullerton. So I remember them putting me in a coaster wagon. And they were dragging that coaster wagon all the way to the place where the house was being built. And
Wow.
I remember that so openly.
Yeah.
It's amazing. That was very impressive then.
So yeah, that was about.
Huh?
What, 1921 or so then, huh?
That would have been about 21, 22, yeah.
Yeah.
I was about 3, 4 years old, 3 years old I would even say. Because I couldn't walk too fast, and they had to walk, so they put me in a wagon and dragged me over. Yeah. Okay, so what was it like when and then it says earliest memory. And what are your proudest
What are you proudest
what are you proudest in your life?
proudest of in your life?
Pardon?
What are you proudest of in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be asking the questions, Mateus, so that he doesn't have to try to read your writing.
What are you
Yeah.
proudest? No, I can read it.
Okay.
I did the same thing. Gee, that's hard to say.
Or what's your most memorable?
Yeah, I know, yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of that. I don't know, because up until the age of 21, it was just a normal, way of life. And I would say serving the Navy. Because the war came out and I was, serving in, being in the Navy in World War II. At least it's an answer, that's the main thing. I mean, don't have to be
Right.
specific, I'd have to go back.
There's probably just all sorts of things anyway, so it's.
When have you ever felt alone in life? Gosh. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Well, maybe never, 'cause you've always had lots of family around, right?
Pardon?
You always had lots of family or lots of friends around.
I always did, yeah.
Yeah.
I never had
So-
any problems.
Yeah. So it was never a problem for you.
Yeah, that's right. Just say never felt too old. Yeah, that's about all. It's just what kind of, who was the kindest person in your life? That's hard to select. It's either mother or father.
So your parents.
Parents, yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of a kid were you? Oh, I would say, well, I was studious, because I was very serious in my music, and prior to that, in school, I had no problem. And then also athletic. Yeah, that would be the answers for that. And the favorite sport was baseball. And as a kid, what you do for entertainment? Well, see, it all depends. How far does your kid age go?
Well, at least up
When
until.
you're in high school, well, then that changed, and you're not a kid anymore then. Usually when you get out of 8th grade, you know, you're already in 8th.
Well, now there's a point there. Back then, when you were in high school, you were like early adult back then.
Yeah,
Now,
but as
they're
a
still
kid,
called kids in high school. So it was, you matured a lot quicker back then. 'Cause you had to. So when you were 8, 9, 10 years old,
I don't know, that was,
what did you do? You used to play a lot of baseball out on
Yeah,
the streets and
associated
And
a lot with our neighbors and, you know, friends.
there was no TV. Did you listen to radio with your family then? And
Yeah,
stuff?
we did that a lot. Listened to radio, because that's all there was at that time. I listened to radio and also sports on the radio.
Did you go to the movies then too?
Oh yeah, we used to go to those Saturday matinees, you know, with the kids. But not too often, because we couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Maybe about once a month or so. But we used to. And then we didn't take a streetcar or anything. We'd have to walk. We'd have to walk maybe, oh gosh, maybe 5, 6, 7 miles to the theater.
Oh.
We didn't ride.
They didn't have the theaters right in the neighborhoods then?
No. It was at least, I would say at least 4 miles to walk there. And then we'd walk and then we'd walk back. We'd walk there and then we'd walk back.
Ah. What movies do you remember seeing?
Oh gosh, a lot of cowboy movies. A lot
Yeah.
of.
Oh, it was still silent too, wasn't it?
Some of it was, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Tom Mix.
Yeah,
and
the earlier ones were silent, yeah. I remember seeing Phantom of the Opera was silent, Ben-Hur was silent, and
the original,
Yeah.
the original ones, and the
the
silent
original
movie with Lon Chaney or whoever.
Lon
Yeah.
Chaney and Cowboys, Tom Mix, William S. Hart. Those are the people. Let's see here. Yeah, the entertainment would be. What are the most important lessons you learned in life? That's to be honest.
Okay.
And that's it, that's 10 questions.
Okay.
You got more questions?
Mm-hmm.
He could embellish on
Yeah,
that
I'm
one.
gonna work it out.
At least you have an idea now,
Yeah.
and you could embellish on it, you
Yeah,
know.
thanks,
Yeah.
Grandpa.
And what have you got?
I got.
Here. Have a seat.
You can have this one. I'll have the one.
You wanna sit here and so you can write these here
Yeah,
on this?
sure.
Go ahead.